All right, well, good afternoon, everyone. You know, I started my campaign for mayor back in 2007 and was elected in 2008. And I knew at that time, when I was elected, that even if I were to be re-elected and serve 8 years as mayor, that the work of moving our city forward would take many years, and that the work would have to be continued by people well past my time in office. So from my very earliest days here as mayor, I began to think about who would succeed me in council races and in the mayor's race, and how as a community we would continue to move forward. So I've known for a long time that the recommendations I'll make this year for those seeking office in the city of Fresno would be among my most important decisions and my most important recommendations to the people of our community. That even though his district is beyond the boundaries of downtown Fresno, he recognizes as a city leader that downtown matters for all Fresnans and for all parts of our community. So I admire very much the positions he took, sometimes unpopular in their day, but I think have proven wise in the years that have followed. And hearing that he again is recommitting himself to downtown revitalization and to revitalizing our older neighborhoods means a lot to me as I've considered this endorsement decision. Garry Bredefeld is also a proven leader when it comes to parks and trails, really pioneering some of our city's best trail system in Northeast Fresno, and he has a vision for continuing that work and continuing the push for increasing green space and open space throughout our community. I'm also supporting Garry because he's independent. He takes information from all sides, he values expertise, but ultimately he makes decisions that are in the best interest of the residents he represents. Having served in this job for 7 years now, I cannot stress how important that is. To value the input of single interest groups and people who may have a particular piece of the puzzle, but to be committed to taking a step back, looking at the big picture, and ultimately making decisions that are in the best interest of District 6 residents. And I value very much that independence. Lastly, Garry is dedicated to community service. As a veteran, as a former council member, as a professional in our community, as a father, and as a member of our community. He is dedicated, and for him to come back to this building and say, you know, I don't need to do this, my life has moved on, it's perfectly fine as is, but I care very deeply about District 6, I care about public safety, I care about revitalization, and I care about making sure our city goes in the right direction. He doesn't have to do that at this stage in his life, but the fact that he's willing to rededicate himself to elected office means a great deal to me. And for those reasons, I'm very privileged and honored to provide my support today to Garry Bredefeld for City Council in District 6. Thanks.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm very honored, of course, to have Mayor Swearingen's endorsement and support. Mayor Swearingen came into office following the Great Recession of 2008, and the city's finances were in trouble, as they were throughout most governments. It was only because of her incredible business acumen, her leadership, that we were able to handle that crisis and, of course, continue essential services throughout Fresno. But more importantly than that even is that she is a big voice for the city of Fresno and its people across the nation. She represents us well in Washington and Sacramento. Her voice is well known, but most importantly, it's well respected. And for that reason, I'm extremely honored and frankly humbled to have her endorsement. You know, as much as things change, they often stay the same. I came to City Hall in the late 90s because we had a crime wave, and I wanted to get involved and do something to turn that around, and we committed our resources. We reduced crime. We were #1 in auto theft at that time. And now we're again faced with crime problems, panhandling, vagrancy. Prop 47 reduces many felonies to misdemeanors. And so we need people who have the proven leadership, the experience to get things done. You know, I've served my whole adult life helping other people, whether it was serving in the Navy, serving for my country, or working as a professional psychologist, working with people in private practice, or serving veterans. I listen to people and we work at solving problems. The kinds of problems we have now, I think, require those same skills. We need people and leadership that's strong, principled, independent. That's the kind of leadership I provided in the past. That's the kind of leadership I intend to provide again.